Do that, if you can find pictures, I'd love for you to take a screenshot and blow it up, because I'm gonna go around and ask you to share, so if you have a visual, you can just hold it up for everybody, that would be cool. As you're doing that, I want you to think of the purpose of it, and that's what A and B are. So A is, why was the parabolic shape chosen for that structure? If you can't find their legit reasoning, then I want you to say what you think is most logical. Okay, why you think they chose that. And then secondly, what makes the parabolic shape special enough to be used in the architecture and the design? And that you can find there, you can even probably Google that and it'll tell you. But there are a lot of different responses, and I want to see how many you can get. So we're going to go 8 minutes. Those at home can do the same thing. I'll ask you to share out as well. Sorry about that. There we go. Okay. Ready, set, go. I'll put this there. Morning, got plenty of people. I don't need to see the McDonald's archway 20 times.
I don't know. I saw that all the time. I don't know.
Alright, well, we got one.
Oh, McDonald's. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what. That's not.
So I don't know if that's a good one.
There's an England or
There's like bridges. There's bridges. So I don't know if you want to just pick a famous bridge.
The arches at the Roman Empire, at the Colosseum.
Oh, you could do that.
I have no
Make sure it's the right parabolic.
Morning, Sid. Morning, Polo. So your groups are playing examples of parabolic structures. We got plenty of time for you to join in. Articles are great because they explain more, right?
Right, but it didn't really explain it. It just said because.
Are you doing this
Which one are you doing? Golly. She's doing the St. Louis one.
I'll find a new one.
I have a roller coaster and a bridge.
Probably.
Well, what else? Do we only need one or do we want more than one? So like two?
We only need one. We need three?
I mean, that's a legit reason.
Great examples. Okay.
And a banana.
A banana?
It came up on a bit.
Oh, I was like, that's an example.
So they can be
to honor those who died in the French Revolutionary War and the Napoleonic Wars. And so it's just built that way.
It's just built that way. So we said like it's kind of a cool shape. Actually, I'm gonna come over to Twani next. Yes. Okay, tell us. So she found an article when she was trying to figure out why these shapes are used. Just tell us what it said.
Basically, before the 19th century, a lot of structures weren't built with parabolic shapes because they didn't use a lot of geometry within like building stuff and architecture. So a lot of the stuff built in the 19th century was built with parabolic structures just because it became increasingly popular.
So when things get popular, do they get used more?
Yeah.
Yeah, right on. And maybe it's, the Greeks start to study stuff. So it could have been after that they started to study it more. If I went back to that notes we had, I could check that date. But it makes sense that there would be this sequence of events that happen, and if they start studying it, looking for, why is this, or how is this good for us, then that might have been that time too. What else you got?
I was just gonna say, the geometry of a parabola was known to the ancient Greek mathematicians. It just wasn't used in structures until way later.
Okay, so they knew about it, they just didn't build it. And it might have depended on the material. Remember I just talked about the swing when it was a flat board. They probably had fun with it because it was new, but once they made it rounder, it probably felt better, right? Just a thought. Who's next? Charlie, you got something?
I just also had this sitting out the house.
Okay, so we're have a little repeat. Monica, what do you got?
I have like the top of the light bulb.
The top of a light bulb, okay. Does anybody need a picture? You know what a light bulb looks like? Okay, so, and this goes back to like the head beam thing on the cars and that sound thing that we talked about. It's going to be able to give you a lot of ability to have that light beam bouncing off. Okay, so this is good. Kylie, what do you have? So here's what I'd like you to do. The circle, we study it. It actually does get used a lot in architecture as well, because it's very strong, it's very sturdy. But you don't necessarily see like actual balls like built up on top of each other. So we're gonna talk a little bit more about that today. What I'd like you to do is go to your next open set of notes and then grab your book. We're gonna be on page, at the bottom of page 772. So this section actually covers circles and ellipses. We're just gonna work on the circle today. You're gonna be on the bottom of 772 and then on page 773, and that's it. Alright, so I'd like to take 4 minutes, if it takes us there, so that you and your group can read through, and I need to hear more verbalization of what you think is important or needed for you to understand what they're trying to teach you or to demonstrate to you. So please share with your group, and then we will share out those thoughts that you had. We'll do 4 minutes here.
We're just doing the bottom of 772 and 73.
Yep, bottom of 772 and all of 773. We'll go with 4 minutes. If we don't need it all, that's fine. Let me hear you. Hear out your thoughts. Hey guys, I'm writing this down because I never knew it, or it was bold in the book. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you know.
Okay, did you guys write anything else?
How do you draw the circle?
Graph in there that's next to the standard equation.
Talk it over. Get your assumptions up. See if you're on the same page.
You know, I'm gonna leave this off now.
So I kept the objective real short and to the point. We're going to be learning about the geometric aspects of that circle, and hopefully we'll talk about some more of the fundamental, uses of it later on again. So let's start with Elizabeth. Elizabeth, what did you think was important enough to write down?
The equation of the circle.
Okay, so standard equation. Okay, Lexi, what did you think was important?
I wrote down the equation and the
Okay, definition of what? Okay, what's your definition?
the set of all points on the plane at a distance from the center.
Set of all points on what is it?
On a plane.
On a plane, what's a plane? Okay, I like this.
I don't know the definition.
Thank you for not saying that thing that flies above. Okay, so a plane, think of just a piece of paper. Okay, know what that is. So a plane is just like a flat surface. that are equidistant from the. You can do this, Kahoot, without fail, then your notes should be good. Those at home, join us.
Like imagine it's good thing I asked.
And I think this is 9.
It's 3.
No, it's not.
No, because normally reads are square.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have to know that it's 3. Click B, right?
I hit blue.
That's good progress.
We didn't get our names in, right?
Yeah, you gotta come back to if the notes are all right. You know, if you're not totally sure, we might need to add something in there.
Not going. Oh, okay.
So we're done -16. We're at 13. Wait, so A.
Oh, I know.
I was like, I would rather. It's 3.